My girlfriend humiliated the hell out of me last night, and now I don't know how to feel about our relationship. We'd been together exactly 1 year and 2 weeks. Sarah, 24, and me, 25. Last night was supposed to be simple. Game night at my buddy's place with a few couples. Sarah doesn't drink. In the entire year we'd been dating, I'd seen her have maybe half a beer twice. So when everyone decided to hit the bar afterward, I pulled her aside and said, "Hey, you don't have to come. I know this isn't your thing." She smiled and squeezed my hand. "Nah, I'll come. Kelly's going and I haven't seen her in weeks." At the bar, she ordered a beer, then another. By 11:30 she'd had 3, which, for someone who never drinks, was basically like downing a bottle of vodka. Around midnight, I noticed she wasn't at the table anymore. I found her near the bathroom, leaning against the wall, eyes half closed. "Babe, you okay?" I asked, reaching for her arm. She jerked away. "No, stop." I thought she was joking at first. "Sarah, come on, let me get you home." She slid down the wall onto the floor, tears streaming down her face. Her eyes were doing that heavy, drunk flutter, opening for a second, looking right at me, then closing again. "Sarah, it's me. Let's go to the car." "No!" she screamed, pulling away every time I tried to help her up. "Stop! No!" People started staring. A woman in a red dress rushed over and knelt between us. "Honey, are you okay?" she asked Sarah, completely ignoring me. "She's my girlfriend," I said. "I'm trying to get her home." The woman shot me a look that could kill. "Did she say she wants to go with you?" "No, stop, no!" Sarah kept mumbling, her head lolling to the side. Within 30 seconds, we had a crowd. 2 guys positioned themselves in front of Sarah like bodyguards. A bartender appeared, then security. "Sir, what's going on here?" the security guard asked, hand on his radio. "That's my girlfriend. She's drunk. I'm trying to get her to the car safely." He looked at Sarah, then back at me. "She doesn't seem to want to go with you." "Because she's wasted. She doesn't even know what's happening right now." One of the guys in the crowd stepped closer. "Look, man, just back off. You're making her uncomfortable." I pulled out my phone and called Marcus, my friend who'd left 20 minutes earlier. "Marcus, I need you to come back to the bar right now. Sarah's drunk and no one believes she's my girlfriend." He and his girlfriend Jen showed up 5 minutes later. I felt a wave of relief. Finally, someone who could vouch for me. But when Jen saw Sarah crying on the floor, she looked at me with pure horror. "What did you do to her?" Jen asked. "She was fine when we left." "I didn't do anything. She just kept drinking and she had like half a beer at the apartment," Jen said, her voice rising. "What happened in 20 minutes?" I couldn't even respond. The crowd was getting bigger. Someone had their phone out recording. The bartender was whispering to security. Then I saw the red and blue lights through the window. 2 cops walked in, and the security guard pointed at me immediately. "This gentleman says that's his girlfriend, but she keeps saying no and pulling away from him," the guard explained. The officer looked at me. "Can you step outside, sir?" I was questioned for 15 minutes in the parking lot. Did I give her anything? How much did she drink? How long had we been dating? Did I have proof? Meanwhile, inside, Sarah had apparently calmed down enough for them to get her phone open. They had her call someone. She called her brother. Jake showed up 10 minutes later. This guy I'd watched football with a dozen times, who'd invited me to his wedding next month. He walked past me without a word, went inside, came back out with Sarah leaning on his shoulder. As he helped her into his truck, he turned and gave me a look of pure disgust. Not anger, disgust. The cops finally let me go around 1 a.m. No charges, but I could tell they still weren't sure about me. I drove home alone. Sarah showed up at 9 this morning, looking pale and hungover. "I feel like death," she mumbled, collapsing on the couch. "What happened last night? I remember getting to the bar and then nothing." I told her everything. The crying, the crowd, the cops, her brother. She sat in silence for almost a minute, staring at her hands. That's so weird," she finally said. "What is?" Another long pause. I don't understand why everyone would react like that if you weren't doing something strange." My chest tightened. "What are you saying?" "Nothing. Never mind." She tried to laugh it off. God, I'm never drinking again. But I knew what she meant. 3 months ago, she'd told me about her ex, how something happened to her while she was asleep, how she'd woken up and realized what happened. She'd looked me in the eyes and said, "I trust you. You're nothing like him." But sitting there this morning, I realized what she was really asking. If I was passed out, what would you have done? I haven't brought it up. What would I even say? She can't remember any of it. But I can't shake this feeling. Anger, resentment, humiliation. I was treated like a threat for trying to protect her, and now she's questioning whether I am one.